Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Ask Us Anything. We are Mike and Jennifer Wendland, and we are delighted to see you all tonight. Well, this is pretty strange. I'm hearing myself. You know what?
You've got this. We got to turn it down.
It's because we're doing it in the iPad.
I don't think I need the iPad. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Okay.
Turn it off.
That's better.
Much better.
Now I'm not hearing myself. We have our earbuds in, and the iPad was playing back through the earphones, and it was crazy. Anyway, how are you all? We are just back from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
And I'm so glad that we went.
Yes. We had a crazy schedule the week before, and I'm glad we went too. It was insane. We are in our new studio, and everything is, I think, working well. Everybody say hi to camera number 2 over there. Hello. This is our new big monitor, our secondary monitor. Jennifer's water. She always puts her water there and it focuses on that. Let's see. Computers, hard drives. Over on this, our mics. And let's see. If I do this camera, you can't see much more. Our 2 mics. That are just hopefully out of frame, and hopefully you're hearing as well. And let's see, this is a video switcher. And over here, will that show up in that camera? Nope, it doesn't show up in that camera. Over there is our Podcaster Pro, which the sound runs. We've been having fun trying to set it all up. So anyway, it is set up. But we got a big announcement we want to start off, and then we're going to get to your questions, because this is your show, and this is where you ask us your questions. But we have, as we do twice a month, we have a giveaway, a sweepstakes giveaway. And let's bring Phyllis Kerr on to talk about this. We've got a great prize. This is really cool, especially for you pet owners.
Right. It's for the pet owners for sure. And the interesting thing is that it's 2 different types of things that they can win. One of them we gave away in the last time that Waggle worked with you, and that is one of those pet monitors, which can monitor your pet in the RV. The other thing that they're giving away is it's a Waggle cam. So you can set it up in your RV, and you can see your pet and talk to your pet through it, and you can push a button on your phone and it will spit out a treat. I just think that's hysterical, and it's a really cool gift, and I think that somebody's going to win that, and they're going to be super happy with it. And this is something new for them. It's Waggle Cam, and
the pet.
Yes.
And there's the pet. You got this app, you're watching your pet, and you push a button and it shoots out a treat for your pet. Come on, is that cool or what?
I suppose we could put popcorn in it and
popcorn in it.
You could catch it.
And you want me to do something? Yeah, you could try that. So this is a really cool gift.
It is. I think that's super cool. And as always, Waggle also gives your audience a really big discount. So if everybody goes to rvlifestyle.com/sweepstakes, they'll see how to enter. But also, if they just want to go and buy one with a really big discount, those links are on there, and they can just go straight there and just purchase this. So I think that's super cool for the pet owners in the group.
And that's perfect with Christmas just around the corner for all your pets.
Yes.
We were at the Hershey show, and one of our followers came, and he had the Waggle app, and he showed us his dog. He had a camera on his, and it's pretty cool. You can actually talk to your dog and have it do something, so it doesn't get lonely. And then but this camera spits out a treat. I can't wait to hook that up.
We should have had that because Bo is mad at us.
Bo is. We left Bo with a sitter for a few days.
Yeah, he is upset with us.
Yeah, he got really mad at us, and I don't know what we're going to do about that, but he'll get over it, right?
Hopefully he'll forgive us.
All right. Well, let's get to the questions. We'll come back. We'll
one more thing. If you want to take a moment and turn off Bluetooth on your iPad will be perfect.
It's all done now.
Okay.
It's all done.
Well, the iPad will work if you turn off Bluetooth.
Yeah. Well, if I do that, I think we'll try it this way. But
All
what
right.
happened is I had the iPad. You were going to actually watch the questions, and we can do that. We can do it, but
Yeah.
by the time,
Go to settings, turn off
yep,
Bluetooth,
yep, yep.
and
Hey,
then
you're talking to PC Mike here, you know.
I keep
Yeah,
forgetting you have history
yeah.
with technology.
Oh my gosh, you know, every time you turn around, something is different. So we will turn Bluetooth off.
And while you're doing that, I just want to say the people on YouTube got it. If you have a question, you put question in all caps, and Mike will answer the question. There's plenty of room for questions here. There's lots of comments. And then if you're on Facebook, go over to the Facebook page, so that we can see your name when you post your question or comment here. So both of those things work, and hopefully we'll get to as many as possible tonight.
All right. Well, let's start looking at the questions. And Jen's got the iPad. She's going to follow your questions. We'll put them up on the screen so you guys can see them. And off we go. The first question, this is from somebody we met at
Linda Ward.
we met Linda Ward. And Linda, hi, Linda.
Hello from Robbinsville, New Jersey. Question: would you tell us about your new air conditioner and how much it costs, unless you don't want Jennifer to know?
Well, the cost, as I said in a little live thing we did, was about the most expensive upgrade we have done for anything in the RV. It was a little bit over $3,000 installed. The air conditioner is one I showed you in one of our videos, and maybe it was in one of our podcasts a couple of weeks ago. We saw some of our friends, Les and Kathy down in Florida, had one. Super quiet, efficient air conditioner. You know how loud air conditioners are?
Mhm.
You can't watch TV. You can't have a conversation. It's hard for us to shoot video when the air is on.
Can't.
Yeah, we can't do it. So we got this set, and it was great. It was installed at Advanced RV in Willoughby, Ohio on Thursday. Took all day.
And then at 5:00, we headed to Hershey.
Yeah, we left there at 5 in the afternoon and drove all the way to Hershey. Got in about midnight, and then we did the show all day Friday and spent some of the weekend in Hershey. Met a lot of you. That was so much fun.
It was very encouraging.
So many new people. Linda was one of the ones we met, and it was great to see Linda. I think, was it Linda we signed the book? We did autographs for her and the book.
And her husband, Rich.
We had a great time. And our video, if you haven't seen the video, it's up on our YouTube channel, rvlifestyle.com. Or just go to youtube.com/rvlifestyle, and you can see our video from our visit to the America's largest RV show in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Ready for another question?
Mhm.
All right, let's go.
Any RV stores that have it all for replacement parts?
Well, I think probably the best one that I would recommend, is Camping World. And I would go to their online store, campingworld.com. And just about any parts that you need. Now, every vehicle that you get is different, right? So I don't know what to recommend in terms of, do they have it for your specific brand or not?
I wouldn't think anybody had everything.
But they have a lot of the regular parts and accessories that you need. So give that a try. I think you'll find it pretty good. All right, thanks, Scott. This is from Carol Van Wasselnova.
Hard to reach my black water valve during dump. Anyone have a solution for changing this? Valve goes from left to right rather than pulling it forward towards me. That sounds challenging.
Yeah. There's been problems like that with almost every RV that we've had. They put it way underneath the coach. We've had some where we've had to literally lie down on the ground.
Crawl under.
Yeah. But there are ways to do an extension. You might ask your RV shop if they can do it. We had it done actually for a freshwater drain at one point. We built an extension.
Mm-hmm.
But there are extensions. People have come up with all sorts of ingenious ways. I don't know the make of your RV, and I don't know where it is, so I can't tell you much. But basically, there is a way to extend it. Ask your dealer, and if that dealer doesn't know it, find another dealer who sells that brand RV. Their service guys, I'm sure, have run into that, and you'll get some good answers from all of that. So
somebody out there can help you.
Yep, somebody can.
Just
Thanks
a
for
matter
that
of
question.
finding that somebody.
Here's one from our Facebook users.
As a Texas RVer, we're interested in your AC upgrade. I'm sure convenience was a part of it, but as it appears you're considering a new, smaller A class, what was the cost benefit, the logic of upgrading the AC? Because he wanted it.
I wanted it. You're the one who wanted it.
Yeah, we
You
gotta
wanted
say,
it.
yeah, we don't use our air conditioning that much,
We
but
don't
it is,
ever do
it
a-
was so noisy.
We do not do cost benefits for the things that we do in our RV. If we did that, we would never buy an RV. I'm sorry. You know,
And actually, when we resell ours, I think that I said to you, I said, I think we could easily get some of the money back because of the quiet air conditioning. And we will enjoy it a certain amount.
He says it appears that I'm considering a new, smaller A class. And you must have seen my video where we went through a unit I really, really like. And that's that Thor Axis, a small 27-foot A.
He would have the biggest A out there.
I would not.
No.
No, I wouldn't have the biggest. I'd have that one. But we don't have any plans to get it.
No.
We're but you can
No.
always have something that you think about. So we do a lot in our RV, and we do need that air conditioner. I added the video that we released yesterday. I worked until midnight Friday. We went to the show all day, came back, and worked until midnight editing it. So I needed the AC, and when it's the regular stock AC in most RVs is so loud and annoying. So right away, this thing has been worth it. And plus, it's easier to sleep. The fan is whisper quiet. You do hear the compressor.
Yes. Yeah. Don't expect that you're not going to hear the compressor, because you will.
And if you're buying it because you think it's silent, don't do it. It's not silent. But
you need to hear one operate before you buy one, because it's a major investment. I mean, if your old one broke down and you had to replace it, I would go with this. But don't buy it just because we got it and you think it's going to be perfectly quiet, because it isn't.
Yeah, there is compressor noise.
Yeah, the compressor.
But for us, it's 75% better, in terms of noise.
And we're Northerners. We're in Michigan. We're not used to being hot.
He's a Texas guy.
I know, Texas. But I mean, you like to be warm, but I melt. I mean, I am just the most difficult person to live with when I'm too hot. So
I think we all are.
All
right, thank you for the question. Hey, thank you, Shirley Benoit, one of our regular followers, with a $4.99 sticker via our YouTube channel. We appreciate that, Shirley. Thank you so much. That's great. Sandy B.
How often are you supposed to flush the black tank?
That is a great question. And so many people get it wrong. You should flush the black tank when it is almost filled. So many people empty it when it's only a quarter full or maybe even a half full. Let it get at least 3/4 filled before you empty it. And if you say you're going to go boondocking and it's about half full and you want to stay, it's got to get empty, then when you're at the dump station, fill it up with water. Just pour a bunch of water, flush it a bunch of times, and then empty it. That helps to clean out the residue. It just really helps helps the sensors. So it should be as full as possible.
You gonna say what you did this time?
We let ours go. Well, I was curious, and I was trying to get a whole bunch of water in ours, and I noticed yesterday morning when I got up, the red light was on. We have a macerator toilet,
and we've never had a red light on before, so we figured
it didn't work. It was
I
not.
figured it was full.
We knew it was full, and it's a neat thing. It stops you and it tells you, hey, it's full. So yes, it worked. It worked great. But let it get half, at least 3/4 filled if you can.
So do it every now and then.
Carrie Ann with a question.
Is there a class offered for one to take before buying an RV? How about if you went to like some of the big shows?
There is most of the big RV shows like Hershey. I don't know if Hershey did this year or not, but I think Tampa usually does. And
FMCA.
FMCA rallies, they have classes that will help you. Almost every big show has a number of seminars, and at those seminars you can learn, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a company called Lazy Days. It's a big RV company in Florida. I think they're around the country too, but I know in Florida they actually have a driving school where they will teach you how to drive it. And if I had an RV dealership, I would build a class on how to operate it, how to drive it, how to find a campsite. And you can find a lot of that information in some of our books that we just put that up on the screen. Or also just search too. Also, we have a really great buying guide book that tells you all sorts of ways you can save a lot of money before you buy. And you can find those at rvlifestyle.com/books.
I really like that they give you classes and they let you drive one.
Yeah.
For those that aren't quite sure they can handle it.
Yeah. And there are some entrepreneurs around, I have heard, that will come to a campsite near you, and they're fairly expensive, but they'll spend a full day going over everything and kind of teaching stuff. Edward Varga.
What's with all the statues behind you? Actually, those are Emmys. And you've got 18 of them. You got quite a few of them back there. They're not all out.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Those are for all of our television work. Those are Emmy awards. And up above them, behind it there, those are all from 40 years of journalism. Those were all my press credentials. There's, presidential press passes, Secret Service passes, passes to meet and cover the Queen, cover the Pope, disaster passes, martial law passes, all sorts of press passes that I've collected over the years as a journalist. And so that's kind of like my journalism stuff.
And you enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it all. It was a great life. It was wonderful. Met lots of things and traveled the world. Eric Miller.
The biggest surprise product from the Hershey show. Did a lot of manufacturers have demos to see?
Were we surprised by anything? I don't think so. There weren't a lot of new RVs there. Now, I'm sure that the fifth wheel crowd and the trailers, they all had some new models, but I didn't see a lot of new products that were really stunningly innovative or anything like that. We saw a couple of interesting Class Bs. Pleasureway introduced a new 4x4, extremely expensive though, $175,000, and it doesn't even have air conditioning. But it is all four season. All the pipes are above, the undercarriage, and they're all heated. So that's good for those of you who like winter camping. The Winnebago Echo, which is a C, gets lots of attention. There is a Thor. Is it the Echo that had the hideaway bath? Yeah, the Echo has a new pop top version, and they've got a bathroom that doubles as a toilet. Now, if that makes sense.
Shower.
It's in the video.
In the shower. If you look at the video, you can see it, because Mike said, "Oh, where's what's missing?" And I said, "The toilet," because there's this wall that slides around. And I was thinking, okay, it gets wet. How are you going to dry that out so you don't get mold? But I'm sure somebody else must have thought of that.
Yeah, it's like a shell with a shower, and then you pull on the wall, and it turns around, and out comes the toilet and the sink.
Like a secret door.
Kind of interesting.
A secret door.
Yeah. Yeah, like a secret, the secret
like
toilet.
There's a bookcase. Like there's a bookcase and you push a button and the wall moves.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's like.
Yeah, so you can have a dry shower, but like I say, I'm not quite sure how you wipe it down, but there must be a way. I just
now we'll talk a lot more about some of this stuff in the podcast this week, but the other big trend was this trend to get smaller and smaller.
Mm-hmm. It seems like big because of the price of gas. And I think most of us now want to go from place to place to place rather than just sit in one place for 6 months. The folks that want to sit for 6 months, I think they've all bought houses or condos or something so they can sit for 6 months.
There were a lot of new Class Bs on that short 144-inch Sprinter wheelbase, the 19-foot version. That seems to be very hot. The Pleasureway model was there. Thor introduced a new model that they have. I think it's called the Serenity. Is that it? No, Tranquil.
And what seems to be catching on is on the roof.
Yeah, everybody's pop-ups.
A patio.
Patios on some of the big ones. There. Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Little ones.
Yeah, a little patio. You can see like a deck up on top.
Yeah.
But I didn't see a lot of new stuff. And one of the reasons why is much of the new stuff is not built yet because the manufacturers are still having trouble with parts, still in that supply chain stuff. And there were a number of manufacturers who didn't even come to the show because they just didn't want to build a unit to show, a demo unit, at the expense of somebody who's been waiting for months and months and months to get their new RV. So they're concentrating on the existing customers rather than showing the demos. And I think there was some disappointment by people that a number of well-known manufacturers weren't there.
And then someone posted how they were disappointed. They expected more. I was surprised at how much there was
I
there
was too.
because of the different manufacturers that weren't there.
And I was so surprised at how big the crowds were.
And people did not mind the day that we were there on Thursday. Nobody minded, Friday. Nobody minded standing in line. I was so happy the day.
Wednesday was terrible. The first day
Yeah.
of the show was
Wednesday was
2-hour
terrible.
wait to get in.
And Friday,
Friday was about a 45-minute wait.
but it
in
didn't
same line.
seem like it. Everybody was smiling and pleasant and just as nice as could be when we went in. And what I liked was it was cloudy, and maybe that kept some of the folks home, kept the crowd down a little bit. So whenever I think of Hershey, I think of it being extremely warm and humid.
Yeah.
And
But-
it was pleasant.
And for us, Eric, the biggest surprise was just the kindness of all of our followers. We met so many people. People gave us gifts, and they were just so encouraging. And even at night, on Friday night, we are at the KOA in Elizabethtown, where we stay usually when we're at Hershey. And they always have a local brewery and a winery, have a little reception for all the Hershey show goers. And we met a couple that we just hung out with that night, and they were just so encouraging. They kept telling us they wanted you to cook more, put more of our recipes that you're cooking online. So we'll do it. We'll do a couple more videos.
Now you're in trouble now, guys.
Yep. So, but it was great. We really enjoyed it. And now we're back, and we'll have a lot more. We talked to a lot of people about what they really want. And man, if I was an RV manufacturer or an RV dealership owner or a salesperson, I would make listening to the podcast we're going to have out this week required listening for all my employees, because there is a big disconnect between what some of the RV makers are building and what people want. And you'll hear what they want. They were really good. These people know what they're shopping for. The people looking for RVs, they've done their homework during that year of lockdown, and they're not getting it from a lot of the dealers and the manufacturers.
Okay, so off the topic. The
Off the
picture
topic.
and your mouth are not in sync. I wonder if
Who
that's
says that?
everybody. Me, I'm looking.
Oh, you can't.
Don't pay any attention.
Don't look at your own monitor.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
It's streaming, and when it's streaming, it's always like that. So don't even look at your iPad, because see, look, it's just that's about 3 minutes
Okay.
before. It's like a delay. So
Okay.
just look at this camera right here. That's
Okay.
the real
I'll look at
camera.
that one.
That's the one to look at. All right, Pam Rulo has a question.
Jen, what are 3 things you just can't leave home without and would recommend we bring on our RV trips? Enjoy the PC. Thanks. Okay.
Pam is in Edina, Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota, eh?
Yeah.
3 things you can't live without.
Okay.
You can't leave home without.
Okay. Mike and Bo and
No, we don't count.
okay, we count. Can't leave home without. So I have a really nice pillow. I love my pillow, my comfy pillow, and can't leave home without trying to prepare a lot of food, as much food as I can that I can make at home, even buying meat from home. So I try to prepare and bring as much food as I can with us. 3 things that I can't leave home without. What else am I always trying to?
Well, in these
never
days of COVID, we take a thermometer.
Yeah, we've got our little gun thermometer.
Yeah,
that-
everybody's got one of those. We take that with us.
we take that with us, and we also have
We have masks. We have really good masks.
and our. Can we say that? What we have?
What is what we have?
Our medicine.
Oh no,
No,
I
we
don't
won't
get
say that.
ugly.
We might get you guys all riled up.
Yeah.
So- some of you'll
If
get
you
riled
talk
up.
about COVID, somebody's going to get riled up one
Yeah,
side or the other.
yeah.
So we don't do it.
So we
But
won't.
we
talk
do
about
take
that.
a thermometer and check it, and we do take masks. We bought better quality masks than 94. They're not the 95, but the 94, which we left in the RV.
I was
as we
going to
went
say.
the
I was
show.
going to say, but you told them that we left them in the
Yeah.
RV.
Let's not go there, because they're going to start yelling.
Yeah, they
People
will
wanna
start
preach
yelling
and
at us.
stuff, and
It's tough.
we
Being,
delete those.
It's tough being.
Sandy B. I don't know what the Anderson hitch is, Sandy. We don't tow, so I don't I don't have one and don't really know what it is.
Go to the University of YouTube.
Go to the University of YouTube. And
Find
see
out.
what they say. Alice N. Sabatini.
Are you supposed to be able to run your RV TV off the battery?
Yes, you are. Every RV is different, right? But most of them run them on 12 volts. So they'll run right off your vehicle. You don't have to be plugged into electricity. There are some, I'm sure, that run with AC, but most should run with 12 volts. And that's great. Matthew.
Do you ever use the toilet while traveling on the road? Yes.
Hold
Yes,
on,
we
Matthew,
do.
hold on.
And I remember our grandson once, we were giving him a ride home from a football game, and he thought that was quite the experience. And I was trying to use the bathroom.
Don't stand up. We have to talk about this.
Yes.
Yes,
We do.
we do.
We have.
Joe M., any experience with a Cassette waste tank? He asked. Just enough to tell you that I'm never going to get one ever in a million years. Nope, you can't make me. Honest, I'm not going to. Never, never, never. And the reason why is a deep-seated prejudice I have for something that used to be out there years ago when we first started RVing called the porta potty. Did anybody else have one of those?
And our pop-up Coleman camper.
I have a picture of that.
We-
Camera. Let me see if I can find that.
Porta potty.
Yeah,
picture of.
I thought it was pretty cool. Where is that? I had a
I
picture.
don't know,
of it.
but we had so many wonderful years in that pop-up camper with 3 kids and a dog going out in the middle of nowhere.
There it is. There it is.
Yep.
That's how we started off, really. And well, actually, we started off before that with a little thing, but in that
A
thing
13-foot trailer.
and in the trailer as well, there was a porta potty,
Mhm.
and it was my job to take that thing
And empty
and
it.
carry it outside and go dig a big hole. We
Okay,
really
they don't need
boondocked.
all the details.
I'm just telling you that experience marred me for life.
And you threatened the children's lives if
If they
anybody
even use
used
the
it.
bathroom, no, you wait till tomorrow when we get home.
Well, our youngest son, he went off to go to the bathroom, and a deer almost ran over him.
Yeah, he did. He went way up the hill. And
Just a
deer-
little kid, and the deer is running over
He
him.
came running back.
Yeah.
But deep-seated hatred for that device, and I know.
I mean, he
know-
wanted me to go camping.
I
and
know
so
today's.
you had to have,
cassettes-
they're better. If
And
we
they're-
were in Europe, we might not.
If we were in Europe, would be different in a lot of ways. But but most of them are only holding like 5 gallons. I mean, that's not very much. So no, I will never have experience with the cassette waste. The porta potty was
Yeah,
enough. For
that
me.
was enough for him.
Stephen Loy.
What do you think about the Truma air conditioner, especially compared to your new one?
Never used a Truma air conditioner.
Yeah, so
I've
I
used
bet
a Truma
I bet
heater.
it's good. We like their heat.
We like Trumas. We have their instant AquaGo.
We
heat.
love their
I
hot-
love that.
Water.
But the one we have, which is made by a company called Houghton, again, it's not for everybody. Don't even think about getting it because it's $3,000 to have it installed. But it's advertised as the world's quietest air conditioner. Now, Winnebago has come up with some pretty quiet ones. I don't know if Airstream has added it, but this is heads down. Everyone says the quietest, very efficient, and that's why we got it. But I don't know the Truma, and I'm not going to go
And
get
you know,
another one.
no,
I got this one.
we have to buy this stuff.
We buy this.
We're
stuff.
not getting
Nobody's giving us
samples.
this stuff.
We're not getting samples that we can try it. Boy, I never want to go that route. Do you?
No,
Craft a critique stuff.
no. And then
Ugh.
you can't say anything, and you got to like it, and
But yeah,
so.
but
I
we
don't
just
know.
we needed something quieter.
And we heard
Because-
this, and we loved it,
And because our friends had it and they loved it.
and we liked what we heard with it, and we like this. I'll try and do a video, Stephen, on it. And I did do one the night before we got it, showing you how loud our stock air conditioner is. And ours is that standard Dometic 15,000 BTU one that is on most.
And it
many
cooled
of them.
off the unit great.
It cool great. It just was, like a tornado in there. It was so noisy. And we'll show you what this one's like. And you can still hear it. And you can really hear it when the compressor's
Yeah,
on.
when the compressor's on,
The fan is the really super
fan
quiet
is
one.
quiet. Couldn't believe how quiet it is with the
And-
fan. But the compressor,
Yeah.
if you think it's going to be as quiet as the fan, you're going to want your money back. And don't throw eggs at us.
Yeah, you will hear the thing. You don't get it. 'cause
don't
we
get it
said
just because we got it.
Yeah, I'm just telling you that's what we got, and so far we're very happy with it. Bob Leach.
Who is your roadside assistance plan with? Ever had a flat tire while out on the road? Yes, we've had when I was driving, we had
Tell
a
them
flat tire.
what you did, how you solved that. You didn't call service. We didn't have to call service.
Well, some guy was passing me, talking to me, and I'm just like, what he's saying, look straight ahead. And he was trying to tell me I had a tire going flat. Probably thought, silly woman.
we had hit a
Pothole.
gator. No, it was a
gator?
pothole. It was
I thought it was pothole.
No, it was a gator because it also flopped up and hit the. No, I guess that was another time.
That was
where
another
it
time.
hit the mirror and knocked the mirror out.
That was another
That was
time.
another time. Okay,
That was
this is a
another time.
pothole.
This was a pothole. I was driving and I thought, oh my goodness. Right after I thought, what is he trying to tell me? Who is that man? Then I realized that I had a flat tire and I'm like terrified. And there wasn't any place to really pull off.
No,
So we went to the next
pull and we
exit.
looked. We could see it going, and we made it to the next exit. Turned right, and there was a tire place right there.
I mean,
So they fixed it. We went to lunch, came back, drove off. It was great.
so we were very fortunate.
We do have roadside assistance. I have Good Sam. Most new RVs, if you buy a new RV, almost all of them come with at least a year's free roadside assistance. We did have that from Leisure Travel Van. They make our van. And that's been over a year now since we've had it. So I use Good Sam. I've been with Good Sam on and off, I think, for 10 years now. So I'm very happy with them.
That was a road trek, and they had a spare tire underneath the bottom, so they could hoist it up and get that spare tire when we had that
many
problem.
RVs don't even have spare tires.
Yeah, most
anymore,
tires
so,
don't have a spare tire.
They have to replace
We were
it or they'll
fortunate.
patch it and fix it. Roadside assistance will. So.
Mhm.
Lindy Rollins.
Let's see. My awning was a little
Recalcitrant awning. I love that.
today when I was opening it. It did open, so not too worried, but any suggestions for keeping it operating smoothly? What do you do?
I don't know. Is it an automatic awning, or is it one of the old fashioned that you have to crank around to open? There's not I suppose there's some parts up there that you could oil, I don't know, or lubricate. Make sure your connections are right. If it's a power awning, I would go right to Google and say RV awning opens. I wouldn't write recalcitrant, but I'd say opens with difficulty or something. You'd find some stuff of RV awning opening issues. Somebody here might comment. And you know where the best place to go, Lindley, for all of these questions that are kind of technical and mechanical in nature is our Facebook group, rvlifestyle.com/Facebook. If you have not joined that, almost 80,000 members now. And I was telling somebody at the show that if you have a question, you have a problem, like if it couldn't open, or you couldn't get it shut,
third of the way.
A third of the way. If you posted on our group, hey, my awning is not opening, within 10 minutes, somebody's going to say, try this, fix this. Oh, that happened to me. This is why our Facebook group is such an invaluable resource. It's absolutely free. All we ask is that you follow the rules. You don't yell and scream, and you're not mean to people. There's enough of that out there. But 80,000 people, and if you're not in it, join it, and then you can post that question, or you can post it now if you are in it, and you'll get some great answers. Scott Ringenbach.
Airstream and Leisure Travel Vans were missing from the Hershey show. Why the no-show by these two manufacturers?
Well, I mentioned that a little earlier, but same thing. They have, in the case of both of them, they have a backlog of orders. Airstream is at least a year out from delivering new product. As they get new chassis, new parts, they're putting them on. Same thing with Leisure Travel Vans. They're almost 3 years out on new orders. So both companies felt, and I think I respect them for this, that were they to stop production of units that customers have paid for and are waiting for, were they to stop production of that and make all these demo units for the show, that would not be fair to all those people who have been waiting and waiting and waiting. So they're continuing to try and meet their demand, but they did not produce any new demo units. That's why they weren't there. Coach House, a big Florida, same thing. They did not show at Hershey this year. Add to that the fact that there was a great deal of uncertainty whether the show would even go on and how much of an expense it is for a manufacturers to send their product, send their people, set up, devote, a full week of their salespeople's and their representative factory reps time to selling this thing and to selling, showing at the show. It's a big, big expense for these makers. So for that reason, they didn't know whether they'd invest all this time, all this planning, all this effort, get their vans shipped, and then maybe because of COVID, it was the canceled.
Could be canceled at the last minute.
It could have been like they just canceled the Elkhart open house, and a lot of people invested a lot of money planning for that. So that's why they weren't there. Long answer, but I commend both of them.
And then so they take all these vehicles there and you put them there and you buy them, and then you're told you got to wait 2 years before you can get one. Well, you're going to say,
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait 2 years. I'll buy something else.
Yeah. Brenda Swindle.
Hello from Dallas, Texas. Question: how often do you travel with your e-bikes? And how did you keep them secure when you didn't have the garage?
A lock, just a
hitch.
big lock that would go, or I would wrap it around the hitch of the vehicle of our RV. We would travel. We had the Hollywood rack, which in our case it was Rad Power Bikes sells that rack. I think you can buy it for other e-bikes. You need a very substantial hitch on the back of your RV to carry these e-bikes. They each weigh about 60 pounds, so the hitch weighs about that much too. In our case, the Lease Travel and Wonder, my hitch won't support that much weight. So we can take one bike with us, but that's about it. We have debated about selling our bikes and getting collapsible bikes and carrying those because we could get those in the garage. The other challenge that we've had, and we've mentioned this a long time, many times, is the Bo.
Bo.
Our dog.
Our dog, our 72-pound dog, who I would not ride a bike and have Bo running along beside. Now, maybe we could get a motorcycle with that little coach thing next to it so he could ride in there. He wouldn't ride in there. We'd hit a bump and he'd jump out. But and he would bark if we left him alone in the RV. We'd get kicked out of the park.
There goes Bo right now. He's just
leaving.
Yeah,
We're talking
he's
about
him.
Hey, Bo, you don't have to leave.
Yeah,
Hey, Bobo.
He was sleeping, and I think we bugged him.
I bugged him. Oh, yeah. He's
so because we have him, we can't take him that much. So, Dan Mitchell.
Any word on USA opening up to the Canadian RVers?
It's supposed to be the 21st, Dan, but we're in the midst of another COVID crisis, so I don't know whether they're going to extend it again. That's coming up tomorrow. It's supposed to, no, 2 days, Tuesday. So I don't know. That's when it's supposed to open. Now, I know in the Hershey show, for example, Pleasureway, their CEO wanted to come. They're based in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Their CEO wanted to come to the Hershey show, as a couple more of their reps wanted to come. They could not get across. Marshall, who is one of their reps, did somehow get in, and I don't know. He might have U.S. citizenship as well. I don't know, but they could not get in. And I know Road Trek. Some people got in by flying in, and others couldn't get in to sell. Canada Mike was there for Road Trek, but the other people couldn't get in.
Yeah, was he the only one?
He was the only one I saw from the company, and they had planned to go to Elkhart, and I think that they had a couple of their models there that they were going to show at the dealer open house in Elkhart, but that's canceled. So I think they had those RVs probably in the country, and they were able to get them over to Hershey at their dealer. They deal through Frets over there. So that was it. Marge L, I have a wonder.
And all of a sudden, the side door doesn't unlock with the key fob. I know you had this issue when your Wonder was new. Can't figure it out.
Oh my gosh, I've had more trouble with that key fob.
But not just on the Wonder.
I had the same thing with all of our road treks. I had the same thing with the Unity. That's why we replaced that lock. I bought an RV lock, which is a combination lock. It has a fob too, but it's a combination lock, and we absolutely love that.
But people have said they've had trouble with that.
Well, okay, we haven't. So
not yet. So and, maybe in time, I don't know.
You just got to change the battery about every year. But I don't think it's going to be a problem.
I hope it's not going to be a problem.
The key fob is here's the thing. If you open and I don't even know how to explain this. If you open, it's tied in with the front locks, the front doors locks, the passenger and the driver's side. So if you lock those and then try and just open the side door, it gets out of sync. That lock kind of should open all of them at once. And when you try and open just one of them with it, or if you kind of open it, you got to keep messing around with it so that they're all synced together. They all shut at
So
the
you
same time.
probably can figure it out if you can get somebody that's knowledgeable to walk you through
they're
it.
just real balky. I've never had a key fob that works reliably all the time. So that's why we got this RV
This
lock.
code, the code, I love
We just
it.
punch in our code and lock it and open it. I always leave the vehicle locked. It has nothing to do with it. But if sometimes I do have a key fob, and that will work as well. But the RV lock was easy to put in. There's a video on the YouTube channel that we did when we put it
But
in.
you were glad you didn't do it yourself.
No, I had
We
it
had
done.
it done at the dealer.
I
Now, if
do
you're
very-
handy and you can do that kind of stuff.
Yep. Steve Wright.
Was any of the Tiffin family there with the Tiffin RVs?
I don't know. Tiffin is now no longer owned by the family. It's owned by Thor.
Thor.
So
And we didn't
it's
go
not
over.
the same company. I mean, you hear what I'm saying? It's not the same company.
So we didn't
go
there.
over. I don't know if Bob Tiffin was there. I used to see Bob at all of the shows.
The family, yeah.
We didn't even visit.
We
their
didn't even go
display.
over there.
So I don't know whether they were there, but it's owned by Thor now, a different company. Steve Hilt.
I recently watched the episode where you visited Leisure Travel in Canada. It appeared you purchased your Wonder directly from them. Is this doable for anyone?
No, we didn't buy it from them. Actually, that was a press tour. We borrowed a unit
For 2 weeks.
It started off, we wanted to do a story about what the Transit was like as a chassis at that time. That's video's 2 years old now almost, and over 2 years old. And so we wanted to know, maybe 3 years old, and we wanted to know what it was like on the Ford Transit. So we went to the factory. We do factory tours of a lot of RV manufacturers, and they had one that was a demo unit that they let different people in the media,
Other people had used.
other influencers or media people, whatever
We
you
got
want
it
to call
for
it.
2 weeks.
And we borrowed it for 2 weeks. And they said, well, we need this at our show in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I said, well, how about if we drive this? It was wintertime. This was in February. We drive it back to Michigan and then down to Florida. And then because we're going to that same show, and then we'll drive it out to Utah.
Do you know how many miles we put on that thing in 2 weeks?
So, yeah, well, but I mean, that's what it was for. It was for demonstrations.
They really didn't want us to leave the day we left because we left in a blizzard.
We did. So that's how we got that. We borrowed it right from their factory. But the one we bought this, we ordered this, the one we have, and we bought it through a dealer in Holland, Michigan. So we bought ours directly from Holland, not from them.
We can't buy from
So
Canada.
you can't go to Canada and buy it.
Nope.
Ed Malin.
Do either of you snore? We both snore. If so, what's your solution to survive your partner's snoring? Thank you much.
Well, the old air conditioner was pretty good because you couldn't hear him. Now, we don't know. There's a downside to this quiet air conditioner that we have.
We put a fan on because
That's for Bo.
that helps us to
Yeah.
not hear annoying noises. We put a fan on because Bo barks at anything he even thinks he might have heard.
Jennifer like has these little delicate snores. She's kind of like, can hardly hear her,
That's not what you said.
No, I'm being nice to you.
Yeah, you are being nice.
But
You had sleep apnea, which you didn't know you had.
I didn't know I had sleep apnea.
Didn't know he had it until you had a shoulder replacement.
I
and
do
you had
have
to
a
sleep on your
machine,
flat back, and I'm
but I probably only use the machine rarely, very rarely. In fact, I seldom use it in the RV at all. It's just, I don't know.
you should.
I swear I sleep just as good without it. So, what? You're shaking your head?
No,
Oh,
you sleep
okay.
better with it on.
No, I don't think so. But I hate it. I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
You get claustrophobic.
Get claustrophobic in this thing. I've tried every kind of mask, and anyway, so I don't use it. But that's not why you guys are here to watch. Here we talk about sleep apnea. Gene Smiley.
You've mentioned before boondocking in Manistee National Forest. Do you recommend a certain area, like near a certain trailhead? We like to hike. Thank you.
Just pick your trailhead, and there's just so many places to hike there that you can kind of just go and you're in good shape anywhere around there. They have some organized campgrounds, in other words, with marked sites, but they're not, they're primitive sites. And I think there's a lot of dispersed camping areas too. And it's, it depends on kind of an RV you have, whether you can get in. But anywhere is good. Just pick a trailhead that looks like you want to hike. Any national forests is like that, or state forests as well. We love them. Joni Knotts Bartow.
What's the name of the national health insurance you can use anywhere? I didn't know there was one.
Medicare. I don't know.
To Google that
I don't
one
know.
too.
I've never
Call your
done it.
insurance.
We've got some insurance
rep.
folks at Partners, but I don't think we have a health provider. We do have Peace of Mind for RVs.com, and they specialize in emergency transportation. For example, many people don't know this, but many air ambulances, if you're hurt and you have to be airlifted out, they're not covered. So these guys cover that. And I think they can help you with other stuff. So there's a link on their page, but I don't know if we've ever done anything about national health providers. There's so many. I don't like to recommend stuff that we don't use ourselves.
But you really have to
And you
check
need to do
into
your
that,
homework.
because a lot of different companies, you can only use them
Different areas,
different
yeah.
places, and it gets real complicated to
We are
understand it all.
on Medicare, and then we have the supplement, and we have, I guess I can tell them that, we have the
Yeah, you
ARP,
should.
the AARP. We've had that for several years. And there's others that are out there that are equally good. There's the Advantage plans and stuff, but it depends on your age and what kind of coverage you need.
Yeah.
So,
Don't go out of the country without health insurance.
yeah. Brian Ritleaf.
Hi from New Zealand. We have just purchased for traveling around the country, playing music. So excited.
In New Zealand? Oh, yeah. I wonder how you're doing there with all the lockdowns. I know Australia is still locked down. I think New Zealand is too. But great to see you, man, from Oz. I love that. Are you going to travel there around the U.S.? Wherever it is, send us pictures, Brian. We'd love to see them. Lori McPherson.
Do most people have to finance any new RV over 100,000? I was amazed at the prices I saw on some of those at the Hershey show.
It's just like anything else. Some people have saved all their lives for this. Other people finance them. And I would say it's probably a mix of both. Full-timers often will sell their house and many of their furnishings and use that money to help buy it. But yes, pretty much a quality RV of any size in terms of a motorhome is going to be around that 100,000 or more. You can find cheaper ones, but they are cheaper. So with that comes some quality concerns. Travel trailers, much cheaper, but you do have to have a tow vehicle. Fifth wheels, much cheaper, but again, you have to have a tow vehicle. And there are some, a really good fifth wheel is going to cost 80 or more, 100, but you still need that tow vehicle. But they're expensive. Don't
There
let
are
anybody tell you
people
that. Yep.
who pick up something for 20 or 25,000 and they
get
finance
used,
it.
and then they finance
Well,
it.
brand
Yeah.
new ones. They get cheap ones and they finance something.
They don't buy a used
Not
RV motorhome for 25.
not
Maybe a
motorhome,
used
but a
one.
trailer or
Sure.
something.
Yeah. In our case, we started off, we bought a used one, and then we just kept flipping it, and that's how that all works. And then for a while, we had one provided for us by a manufacturer, and we stopped that a few years ago because we didn't want to be necessarily just tied to one manufacturer. And so, we're about the RV lifestyle. We don't, not any one particular brand. So,
yeah, the prices are scary.
yep. Barb Ryan. Is
there a certain place that you make a point to return to?
Well, it is almost October, and we, that's a really great question, because we have been talking a lot yesterday and today. We want to go back to our favorite place. And if you're a regular, you know that in our hearts, we have a real sweet spot for the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We just absolutely love it, especially in the fall, don't we?
Fall and winter.
Yep. So we're thinking probably going up next week to the UP, and then maybe we're looking at our winter camp out in northern Michigan. We love camping in the snow, absolutely love it, and we're thinking of that in January. So we kind of always come back to there. We love the Emerald Coast of Florida. We like that so much we ended up buying a condo in down there. So we're there a lot.
But I would love to go out east. I mean, like in Hershey, I was so frustrated having to turn around and come back. I mean, I'd love to go back out there and look around.
Yeah.
But
But we had to come back for some.
seems like
some
we
other
always
stuff.
have things that we have to come back for.
So, and we love. Then there's the West.
Yes.
Glacier National Park.
We've always wanted to go to Yellowstone in the winter.
On the screen below is our address for our group map. And if you haven't seen that map, man, check that out because we list all of our favorite spots. And not only that, if you join the map, then you can list yours and it becomes this great resource. There's so many people that have plugged in there, and we urge you to check that out. It's a lot of fun to look at all the stuff that is out there and the different, everything from restaurants to whatever. For those of you who tuned in late, we are announcing a new sweepstakes tonight, and that's the address. We are giving away the Waggle cam, and this is the box containing it. This is a camera that you mount in your RV that allows you to monitor your pet on an app on your smartphone when you're away from the area. But what is really cool about it, so you monitor it right here. But then if you look, this thing, there's the camera there. You can actually put this in your home too. You push a button on your app and it shoots out a treat for the dog. So you can put this in your RV. It needs to have its own Wi-Fi network or tap into the one that you use. And it's pretty cool. So we're giving away, it's $200 value. And you can find out details of it and also the whole Waggle temperature monitor too, which we gave away a few weeks ago. But this will run for 2 weeks. You can enter that's free multiple times, and we'll announce it 2 weeks from tonight who will win the Waggle cam and the temperature pet monitor. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about that. I'm going to do a video on the pet monitor in the next day or so.
Sounds like a plan.
Once we get the podcast shot and done, we'll do that. So that's pretty good. And our new merch, this is one of our shirts here. This is Jennifer's Happy Trails that she kind of signs off with every week, and we got lots more. Check out our merch. We've got coffee cups and hats and T-shirts and all sorts of gadgets, and our books as well. You can find all that stuff at the address right there. Hey, Ivan Josie RV Journey, thank you for $4.99. And they say, can you say how much you paid for the new AC? I want to change the AC on my Trend Winnebago. It's expensive. It's about, installation is a little over $3,000. So you need to really want to have a quieter air conditioner.
And don't get it just because we got it.
Don't get it just because we got it. And understand that it's not silent. You'll still hear the compressor, the lower, that's the compressor when it
Because it goes on, it goes off.
The compressor goes on and up. The fan, super quiet.
Fan is quiet.
We went out again this afternoon. We were cleaning it up for our next trip.
What's this we?
Well, I went out after you cleaned it up for the next trip. And I said, let's try out the air conditioner. So we laid down on the beds, turned it on. And the fan is, even with the compressor on, you can still have a conversation in a normal voice. That's how much we like that AC. So, but it's expensive. It's about $3,000. You can try and put it in yourself. You can order it. I don't know. I think it probably costs about $2,500 retail. We had ours done by Advanced RV in Willoughby, Ohio, and we paid for ours. Nobody gave us this thing. So always want to point that out, that we pay for our gear ourselves. So, but thank you for the super chat. Andrew and Monica.
Did you see the Tiffin, what is that?
Cahaba
Class B, and if so, what did you think of it?
Just from a distance. I didn't go and check it all out. We just didn't have time to do a video on every, we were there for, this is essentially this, we got there this weekend and we tried to pick a new Class B from Thor. We tried to pick a new Class B from Pleasureway. Then we looked at a new C. We looked at the new pop-up C from Winnebago. We looked at a small A. So we did a representative of all of that, but there's so many different models. And the Tiffin Cahaba Class B is a new one. Again, Tiffin is now owned by Thor. It's not owned by the family anymore. So it's a different company. Linda Barcume.
Comment, we are currently doing a circle tour of the UP for the next 3 weeks. Maybe we'll run into you.
Don't run into us, but if we find you around the campfire, that'd be great. Yeah, we'll probably be up. We've got our little favorite spots that we like to go to, and that's our plan right now. But our plans, if you're regulars, our plans change all
We
the
have
time.
to be
Yeah,
fluid.
fluid is a good word.
And you have to
We
pivot.
have to pivot. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
pivot and
that's a
fluid.
business buzzword. We have to pivot. All right. I think we are about out of time and out of questions. Another hour has gone by. Hey, listen up for the podcast on Wednesday. We talked to a whole bunch of people that we met at Hershey. Real RVers talk about what they want, what they're looking for, what they think is important, what the last year has been like for them, how much this lifestyle is so critical to them getting through all the craziness that we've had. I think you'll find it a very uplifting interview, and we love to hear from it. If you have a story you think we should do, and you think would make a good story for us to tell on the podcast, just send us a note at Mike and Jen at rvlifestyle.com. That's our email, Mike and Jen at rvlifestyle.com, and we will try and find out for you what and get a hold of you and see if that's a good choice. We love to interview and get as many of these different folks on that we can talk to and have them share their stories about how it all works. So I think that's it for now. Don't forget the sweepstakes. There's our email on the screen, and newsletter comes out tomorrow morning. We'll have links to all sorts of stuff with that. And until then, we'll see you down the road.
Happy trails.